Hello and welcome back to the channel. Tesla's Model Y follows hot on the heels of the Model 3, been on sale a long time now in the US, in China a long time, and here in Europe, it just arrived. Now many say it'll be Tesla's best-selling and most important model. I'm one of those. Not that I can buy it yet, but we'll get on to that. It's a big deal over here in Europe, and my US viewers to this channel might be scratching your head and thinking, all right, we've had it for ages. It's not that big a deal. It really is for us, so it's a good opportunity to recap exactly how important is the Tesla Model Y. Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Martin Lee, and if you like what we do here, please subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss a show. Let's start off with the looks. The design of the Model Y will be familiar to those that have been seeing the Model 3 on the road for some time. Well, not here. In the UK, we are right-hand drive. Now, there are right-hand drive markets getting the Model Y. Hong Kong, Australia, as of recording this podcast, still can't get them here. Hey, by the time you watch this, that may well have changed. It can change in the next 5 minutes. Tesla don't tend to give us too much advance warning about these things. But if you're left-hand drive, which is pretty much everywhere, you can get the Model Y. The design language, the curves, the light signatures, they're all taking cues from where the car started, the Model 3. However, the Model Y is a far cry from saloon styling, much more closely resembling its bigger cousin, the Model X, an SUV. It's more about subtle curves than creases. Tesla always has been with their design styling, and we're looking at a car that cherishes its drag coefficient. Inside, it's all very Tesla. Everything inside the car will look very familiar if you've seen a Model 3. Refined minimalism is how I like to talk about it. Tesla's been working on this for a decade now, and it comes to the fore in the 3 and the Y. The car turns a traditional interior design on its head. Apart from a couple of buttons on the steering wheel, we're denied the use of any physical buttons or dials. It's one big 15-inch touchscreen. It's an iPad on steroids. So that's what the Model Y looks like, but it's time to have a look at the dimensions. It's a chunky car. You've got a wheelbase of 2.9 meters. That's almost as big as a Hyundai Ioniq 5 and about the same size as a Kia EV6. An overall length of 4.8 meters. But it's the space inside that will separate the Model Y from the others. The design of the boot opening allows for a really big entry point for luggage. Fold the seats down, you've got cargo space over 2,000 litres. Even space for 7 seats if you want to spec it that way, and if the 2 people in the third row are quite small. And if that's not enough for you, throw in a bit of braked towing at 1,600 kilograms, and this is a very capable EV. Let's move on to performance, and this is one of the pegs that Tesla hangs its hat on. All right, we'll skip the pleasantries, the lower models. In the US, you can still only get 2 models. In China, it's more, but we don't worry about standard range and things like that. Let's get straight into the performance model. Dual motors, all-wheel drive, 21-inch rims if you want to spec that. Well, I mean, you can some tyres on the rims, but you know what I mean. Anyway, how fast does it go? Well, top speed, 150 miles an hour. If you can even do that speed where you live, maybe on the German autobahns, it will certainly chauffeur you in style very quickly. Now, Tesla sometimes gives its 0 to 60 miles per hour times, and that's almost 0 to 100 kph. That's technically 0 to 62 miles an hour. We get here into the weeds a little bit, into rollout. Sometimes they don't include rollout, sometimes they do. That's like the first foot of the car moving. Is that really in a 0 to 60 time? We're not getting into it today. This is not an argument we're going to have on the show today, but the Model Y is very fast. It'll go 0 to 62 miles an hour or 0 to 100 kph in less than 4 seconds. Let's just say that. Now for the bit that EV nerds love: batteries, range, charging. Tesla are known recently for not sharing the official battery capacities in their vehicles. A complete 180 on what they used to do. They actually called the vehicles based on the battery size, roughly. So a 70, a 90D, a P100D, L for ludicrous. Well, that was on the badge on the back, but no longer. The Model Y has a battery size of around 75 kilowatt hours. Range and efficiency will vary depending on whether or not you go performance, long range. In some countries, standard range. If you jump into Tesla's websites, where I am here, the performance says estimated range 298 miles. Long range, I see 314 miles. In the US, an EPA range of 330 miles. Now, we all know these numbers can be optimistic at times, but either way, it's fair to say Model Y long range, if you're at motorway speeds, a solid 250 mile car, probably another 50 miles on top if you're doing mixed driving. Maybe 200 if it's really super cold, maybe you're towing, any elevation's going to kill that, but it kills it in all EVs. Maybe you could do 400 miles if you just drive around town doing errands all day. And what happens when the battery gets low? Well, yeah, I know the answer is you need to charge it, but how quickly? Well, if you can find an AC post that'll give you 11.5 kilowatts or more, it'll take that on AC chargers, about 11 kilowatts or so. But really, you're talking about DC fast charging stats with Teslas, and on DC, it's rapid. The US configurator currently says they'll put 162 miles of range in less than 15 minutes in your car. That's not bad for a quick comfort break, a chance to grab a coffee and a snack, and the car is ready to go again. What about price? Well, this is tricky on this YouTube channel. We know we have a global audience watching these videos, and it's in so many different markets. And we also know that Teslas cost different amounts in different countries. In fact, again, here, my example, in good old Great Britain, one of the most expensive places in the world to buy a Tesla, because we have to add our 20% VAT. Then we add a 10% import tax from cars from the US as well on that new total, becoming very expensive. In European markets though, if I say around 70,000 euros, you're kind of in the right ballpark. And what about production? Well, we're talking about Model Y. What are those cells inside? You may have heard that Tesla uses the 18650 battery cells. Those are made by Panasonic. Those are like big AA batteries if you haven't seen these before. They go even bigger with the individual cell. They put thousands of those to make a big battery in the Model Y. They're called 2170s. But what about when Berlin opens? Giga Berlin. When they start making the Model Y on European soil, well, that's when the Model Y once again will change under its skin. In the US and China, they'll continue to use the existing technology, but Tesla are developing a new battery cell called the 4680. It's almost like a slightly smaller tin of beans. Best way I've been able to describe that kind of size to people. And their technology at Tesla is expanding at a rapid rate. These are the cells which will go into the Model Y when it's made here in Europe. We hope that's going to be soon. We're recording this video towards the end of 2021 and no sign of those cars being made yet, but hopefully it's around the corner. Giga Shanghai is up and running now. They're currently shipping cars to Europe whilst we wait for Giga Berlin. So let us know what you think in the comments below. Are you a fan of the Model Y? Do you prefer a sedan saloon like the Model 3? And if you do like the Model Y, what's your weapon of choice? Is it the performance? Is it long range? Is it? For me, it would be rear-wheel drive long range. I don't need all-wheel drive. I don't live anywhere it's going to snow very often. I just want range, range, range. Maybe you don't like Tesla. Maybe you're all about the, I don't know, VW ID4 GTX, the Nissan Ariya, maybe. Let us know in the comments below. We'll keep the conversation going. Thanks for watching today. Please give us a thumbs up if you like the video. It tells us to make more like it, and we'll see you on the next one.